podcast. How are you?
Hey, Olivia, nice to meet you and great to be on the podcast. It was a pleasure to get invited.
My absolute pleasure. It's good to have you here. And for those that don't know who you are, who are you? Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm a hobbyist woodworker. I do custom furniture mainly as a hobby, but also for done some for actual sales and yeah, that's on the short side. Maybe we'll dig into that a little bit deeper later on.
Yeah, amazing. And where are you based? So you're in Finland. Where are you in Finland?
Yeah, I'm in Finland. The city is called Oulu. It's sort of geographically on the middle parts of Finland. Uh, yeah, it's we're still having winter here, so it's still
Yeah.
cold.
Is it go? Well, I think the UK is having the most bizarre. One minute it is boiling hot, and then in the same day it is
Right.
pouring down of rain and hailstones. So I don't really know what's going on with the weather here. It's kind of messed. So we're experiencing
So,
winter.
so it's a bit similar here as well. I mean, we're supposed to be a bit on the warmer side already, but we still had like minus 10 degrees last week, and it's not fun anymore. Looking forward to
Minus
summer.
10. So are you
Yeah, yeah.
workshop? It must be freezing in there.
No, it's luckily it's a heated workshop, so I'm
You've
not freezing. I'm fairly comfy here inside, but outside it's not cool.
not good. Even in minus 10, I would, with a heater, I would be struggling.
Right.
Be absolutely freezing. So, what is your journey? I guess, what's your story? How did you end up here?
Oh, so I suppose I mean as a kid I've always been keen to work with my hands. I've been always, building something, designing something. I've done metalwork, woodwork, and for some reason I think wood is more suitable to my style of working. As a kid, I've always built things, even sewing and stuff like that. And eventually, when you get big enough, you stop having some money to buy some tools, and you're able to start building actual furniture. But I just love to create, so I suppose that's why I'm here.
Yeah, because my next question was why woodworking, and I guess that's it. It allows you to be creative and to build what you want. So, if you,
Yeah, so wood to me is as yeah like as a material, it's more, at least for me, it's more malleable than steel, and it's easier to build stuff that you actually need. At least for me, I still, some of my furniture still include like metal frames or like tables. They might have metal legs, but mainly on the woodworking side. So
and have you had like any other? Have you always been a woodworking hobbyist, or on the side, have you got skills that you've got from other jobs that have made woodworking, like enhanced your woodworking? Would you say?
right. So I guess my paying job still currently, hopefully that'll change in the future, but it's still currently, I'm a CTO of a software company.
Okay.
So it's on the other spectrum of things.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of think that writing software is kind of creative as well, but not I'm so from a training point of view or school wise, I mean, not really. Woodworking is something I've picked up as uh, uh, just by doing and learning by myself.
Amazing. So you haven't gone to like any training, any schools. It's just you've you've picked. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
What would you have any tips for someone who wants to get into woodworking like that? Where would they start if they don't want to go to schools or they just want to get into it?
Just start doing. I think, I mean, for me the process is I get a vision. I want to, maybe build a chair or a table, and then I try to envision it so that it becomes a functional thing. I try to look at the steps needed to create it, and just only recently I started doing like CAD designs for furniture that I actually build, so to get measurements and stuff like that a little bit more on the ballpark. But my tip is just start doing, experimenting, and see what works. Main thing is that you do things. That's
Oh,
the only way to learn.
yeah. So just get into it. And suppose like YouTube's
Yeah,
free
yeah, get into it.
like that as now, and things like your own social media and Instagram and TikTok, they're
Yeah.
really really handy to give you tips and stuff to get going.
Oh
So
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, I can imagine. And you're part of that now. You're part of it.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's kind of weird, but really really happy to actually be part of it. It's a nice thing to actually be able to showcase your work to people and have people, comment on them, and someone that like them. So it's great.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen bowls, I've seen vases, I've seen chairs, I've seen benches, but what's been your favorite project to make?
Oh,
It's a
gosh.
tough one. You can have multiple projects.
So I think the last one that I made for myself was a sort of a round sofa table. I like the design that it ended up being. I had a couple of iterations on it. Um, it'll probably in the future turn into something else. Like I have already a vision in my head for another kind of a sofa table, but I really like that build. I also have um, a table that I made for a friend of mine. That was pretty interesting to make as well. And currently, I'm sort of planning out, at least in my head, my own new dining table. So that's going to be fun to build
My God,
eventually when I get to it.
how many seats has your dining table got to be?
6.
Six. Okay, so it's going to be a big,
Yeah.
big. What's the biggest thing you've made? Will that be it?
So probably currently the biggest one is the dining table that I have. It was a
Yeah.
previous. It's not featured in any social media, but it's about the same dimensions. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's starting to get dull, and I have an itching for making another one. So.
And when you get that itch, it must be scratched. The creative
Oh
itch.
yeah, oh yeah.
And you must get it all the time. Do your friends and family of I think you just sit there often ask you to build them stuff? Do you get that a lot now?
I actually do. So the most thing that is usually people just ask for advice. I mean, how would you do this? And I need to, maybe sand this or fix that chair or something. And they just ask, how would you go about it? And I'm glad to give advice. I mean, if I, it's not. I mean, it's not that often, but still, it's glad to be able to help people. And sometimes people say that okay, they need this kind of a cabin, and I said okay, let's look at it and see what it actually takes to build, and then we sort of talk about it. And usually I get to build things, but sometimes I just or then customers shy away. But I'm trying to sort of transform this hobby into a semi kind of a business eventually, maybe in I don't know 5 years time or something. It's
Yeah.
going to be a longer journey, but I do enjoy, you know, making designs for people, even if they don't end up buying them from me.
Amazing. And it must be how do you go about turning your passion into a business? I suppose it's a very long process.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a long process. At least for me, I mean, some probably do the overnight leap. Maybe it's probably not for me, but yeah, I mean, just word of mouth basically on my side. I mean, I've done a few projects and then tell people that, if you have friends or family or something that needs custom furniture or special dimensions that you can't get from stores or pre-made, you know, get in touch and let's see if I can help. And basically, it's this just guerrilla kind of marketing tactics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because you do few like offbeat things on Instagram, and then you'll notice that loads of people will getting you through there because there's word of
Yeah,
mouth. And
yeah.
then there's obviously your Instagram, which last time I checked was at 29.3 thousand followers, which is very impressive. I suppose, do you have a tip for those in your position looking to build their following like that? What is your one golden tip?
I honestly I don't have a golden tip. I mean, I'm pretty surprised about my follower count as well. I mean, there's been a couple of reels that have really sparked attention, maybe the attention of the algorithm or something. But anyway, um, I try to post things that sort of excite me or showcase something that I do, or maybe a build step or something. But I guess my Achilles heel on sort of posting on Instagram is when I'm making something. I usually just bury my head into making it. I forget to
Yes.
film things. Different camera angles, and I just you know push on building it, and then I realized that forgot to actually film the part of it, the actual build process. So, but live and learn.
No, it's always the way because you are you've got your full-time job, you've got like your life,
Yeah.
you've got like the hobby, the passion that you want to change, and then you got social media. How do you balance it all? How do you balance all of it?
Sometimes there's creative streaks. So when you're pushing full on in the garage, and sometimes it's there may be a low period. Some Usually it's during nights, during weekends, but then you got to balance out family life as well. So
Yeah.
it goes up and down, up and down.
Ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, and
Oh yeah,
creativity
oh
always
yeah, oh
comes
yeah.
to you at the weirdest time as well. I can imagine is your workshop near your house, or is it attached to your house, in your
It
house?
actually is.
Yeah, so
It's a separate garage. Yeah,
so it's a lot harder when you're like, oh, I have an idea. The workshop's so close that you're like, oh, I could just go
yeah,
to it. I find
yeah.
that a lot as well, and it will get you at the randomest times creativity. So must keep you. You must have.
And the ideas, when the ideas pop to your head, I mean, it might be during the morning, it might be just after you wake up, or you might dream part of it, and it'll just creep up anytime.
And it'll get, and then that's it. You have to get up. You have to go to the garage. There's no return.
I'll try to jot something down, and yeah, depending on the time of day and how hectic it is on elsewhere around the garage. So depending on that, but I try to at least jot something down.
No, I can see. So I can see. I think some festal in the background. But what is a woodworking tool you could not live without? Is it something by?
Oh, what I couldn't live it out. Probably. Hmm. Probably my table saw is probably that. I mean, and the planer jointer combo. It's something that you need if you're not buying pre-milled lumber. So, but I actually, so it's not a secret, but I'm kind of a tool nerd. I like to collect tools. I like things that make a sound and do something. So,
What is the definition of a tool nerd?
um, I don't want to share it. It's something that you see in the background.
Well, it looks great. Looks like you've got a very big collection going on back there.
Oh yeah.
Nice and all festal.
There's some other brands as well, but I do like their dust collection capabilities and how they're you know building their tools and their quality. I mean, I do like them.
Amazing. And what is your favorite type of wood to work with? Do you have a favorite type of wood?
I like ash. I think the grain pattern on ash is nice. I like white oak. It's a shame, for example, in Finland, the main trees are birch and pine and sort of not your typical hardwoods, I suppose. Ash and white oak are probably my favorites.
Nice. And so you do a lot of wood turning. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer the wood turning side, making the bowls, making the vases, or do you prefer making the chairs and the wood crafting? Do you have a preference?
Um, Not really. I mean, I have a couple of sort of bowl ideas in my head, and once I get done sort of with my current project backlog, I'll probably turn something.
Yeah.
I do really like both. But I suppose if I really had to pick and choose, I'll probably stick with building tables. For some reason, that's something that I do like. If I
Yeah.
had to actually pick and choose from one either, but I love them both.
Amazing. And I suppose this is going to be, I've asked Pierre from the Swedish Maker, I've asked Jesper Makes, and I
Right.
wonder if we may finally. So, are there, because we're doing, I suppose, a bit more of an international uh, series, a few episodes. And is there anything specific to woodworking in Finland that wouldn't apply elsewhere in the world? So, are there any traditions in Finland, woodworking wise, or we've yet to discover one? So, you could be the first. Oh, and it's okay if there isn't any.
Thank God you took the pressure off because I really can't think of anything.
We'll Google it. I keep saying after each one, right, I'll Google it, but I still haven't come across. There must be um, something that is slightly different but we can't figure it out yet.
Maybe making like skis and maybe tarring skis. I don't know. Might that contain some sort of location specific skills? I don't know.
Maybe, and you're definitely probably used to working in more colder conditions as well, adapting to the cold.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
And what are the benefits of woodworking for you? How would you say wood craftsmanship helps you?
So I think it at least for me it teaches like being able to sort of slow down and not rush into building something. You need to think on building steps on the way you, for example, build a table or turn a vase, what you need to do before rushing into a step that you feel like this is something that you should start off. So I suppose patience in a way. But then again, it also, because it's a total different step from my sort of paying job, is it'll it's an outlet for creativity in a way.
Yeah, I love that because
Yeah.
yeah, you've got your everyday job, and then you've got which I'm not saying you are or are not passionate about, but then you've got your real passion, and it's nice to have the balance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, again,
Yes.
it must be nice to go home and yeah, you have that creative outlet. It must
Yeah.
be very. Do you have a woodworking inspiration? Do you have someone who inspires you? It could be family, could be anyone, could be a celebrity.
I do like. I mean, I don't have any specific like person or maybe a YouTube channel, but I think um, I think the creative community overall in social media, be it Instagram or YouTube, I think because it's easy to get caught up in like just browsing things, browsing things that people have made. It's just a fantastic um, way to share and get inspired. So I think overall, maybe just the community inspires me to create
Oh,
more.
that's a beautiful answer.
But
That's so
there definitely there are a lot of fantastic creators sharing their content in Instagram and YouTube, and especially their process and the ways of working. It's I think especially finding out how people build things. I do like watching that.
yeah, and I think that's the thing I've encountered, especially with speaking with makers and creators on the podcast. Everyone's very open, and everyone shares what they've learned and what they've done wrong and what
Yeah,
they've done right, and it's a very open community. And everyone's like, I've tried this," and people often share like their build plans. I've seen that a lot, and I think that is it's just a really really nice community to be part of. I say I'm
yeah.
part of it. I cannot build anything. I'm just I'm just in awe of all of you guys building stuff.
Right. Thank you.
That's okay. And if you weren't a woodworker, if you weren't a maker, what do you think you would be in a parallel universe where perhaps woodworking doesn't exist?
Um,
It's a hard one.
it'll probably have to do something with sports. I've done quite a lot of different sports, be it extreme or sailing, but I'll probably find a mix somewhere between that as a profession. Yeah.
Oh, extreme sports. What is the most extremist sport you've done?
Um, Probably skydiving, I suppose. That was a long time hobby when I was a little bit younger, but
Oh
I'll
my,
probably find something in that avenue. Yeah.
nice. And wait, did you skydive in Finland or did you go around the world and skydive?
In Finland mainly. I did some traveling across Europe, different drop zones. Did some skydiving there, mainly in Germany, but yeah, mainly in Finland. Yeah.
Wow, so you are a daredevil. My God, so you must have no fear.
Well, I'm afraid of different things, not heights.
Do you have you ever considered I suppose a stunt of skydiving while also carving some wood?
uh, that hasn't yet crossed my mind, but maybe when I retire, I'll I'll shoot up a video or something. Yeah.
That would get some serious likes. You would turn in with the lathe.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What has been your most difficult project to make?
Um, difficult. So I want to say every project when it comes to time gluing things up, that's the most difficult thing. I mean, that'll get your heart racing more than skydiving, at least for me, at least. I mean, trying to figure out, how to glue things up and how fast you need to move before the glue sets, and before if you messed it up, can you break it apart? And yeah,
Oh my God.
I think glue ups. Yeah.
Glue ups. We do like an ambassador event, and I remember everyone was really calm, and then it came to the glue up stage, and I saw everyone's eyes just widen, and everyone was in a panic, and it was like a whole different set of people
Oh
coming
yeah.
in it as well. We built I've mentioned it on the podcast 1,000 times, a very, very bad three-legged table. And I remember the person that was helping us build it
Right.
just said, "This is life or death now." And I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah.
He was like, "If you mess this up now, it's game over. All that hard work is
Yeah.
for nothing." And I was just like,
Yeah.
so,
That's definitely the. Your project might be difficult to build, but when it comes time to actually finishing and gluing it up, that's the most dreadful part.
my God, do you have any
But
tips?
usually goes preparation, I suppose, is key. I mean, at least I do at least one dry run. I mean, how I'm gonna do it. In what kind of steps, which joint goes into which first, and how I clamp it, and then try to sort of visualize it in the brain before you actually start spreading glue.
My God, so
Yeah.
much thought goes into the project. You can clearly see how much thought and passion goes into your projects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of planning. And what are your plans for 2024? It can be woodworking,
Oh, good
holidays.
question. Um, so my it was already during last year. My goal was to get my YouTube channel started, and
Yeah.
as I mentioned, my next dining room table, that's sort of a project that I'm trying to get the channel up and running, be the first sort of bigger project that I make, and try to create an actual YouTube video instead of a short Instagram reel about it, and let's see how that goes. So that's definitely the target.
Yeah, because I think the world is moving weirdly enough back into longer format. It's like it was long format.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube is coming back.
Yeah, so yeah, I think um, at least the content that I like to watch is somewhere around between 20-30 minutes, that you actually get to see the sort of every stage a bit on the build, and then you get to see the final product. And I think, at least for me, that's rewarding. So let's see.
Yeah, it would be as soon as that's up, you'll have to send us the link. I would love to check out your YouTube
Oh,
channel.
we'll do.
Yeah, as soon as it's up.
We'll
And is
do.
there anything coming up that you want to promote? Like, where can we find you on socials? What will your YouTube channel name be when it comes out?
So my Instagram handle is levon6. Go check that out. I already have the YouTube channel set up. It's under the same handle, levon6, as well. I do have a TikTok account as well with the same handle, but I sort of try to mirror their content on Instagram to TikTok. Sometimes I fail to do it. Sometimes I remember to do it. So IG is currently the sort of the primary source for my content that I do. Hopefully, YouTube will start during this year.
Yeah,
That's my target.
we'll wait patiently for it, Mika. We wait patiently.
Cheers.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It has been a pleasure learning more about you. It's nice to know the person behind the Instagram handle, I always think. And I can't wait to see what projects you come up with next. I'm looking forward to your YouTube channel.
All right. Cheers, Olivia. It was a
Thank you
pleasure.
so much, Miko.
All right. Cheers.